Council Work Meeting. Today is August the 19th, 2024, and the time is 6:30 p.m. This meeting has been duly advertised in the city newspaper in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act, otherwise known as the Sunshine Law. Roll call, please.
Davenport, Fablelaro,
Here.
Pomona,
Present.
Korea,
Present.
Barclay,
Present.
Oglesby,
Present.
Thomas,
Present.
6 and 2.
For the record, Mr. Davenport will not be here this evening. Madam Clerk, approval of previous minutes, I'm sorry, council, approval of previous minutes.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, agenda review.
First agenda is ordinance number 9, first reading, amending chapters 84, alcoholic beverages, and chapter 300, land management of the city code to regulate liquor stores and related sales of alcoholic beverages within the city.
Council, any questions? Seeing none?
Ordinance number 10, first reading, adopting the redevelopment plan for the properties identified as Block 382, Lots 1 and 14 on official tax of the city of Pleasantville pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law and JSA 40A:12-1.
Council, any questions?
I have a question. What are they requesting as a 5-year tax abatement? What are the numbers and the parameters of it?
Rick, can you come up, please?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just as a note, so today's ordinance is just for the redevelopment plan. The 5-year tax abatement will be brought as part of the redevelopers agreement at a later date. But 5-year tax abatements are regulated by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. They look at what the assessed value is, what the taxes would be, and basically over the first 5 years, it's 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100%. And that's how they are throughout the state, that's how it's regulated, and that's how that works. They will be assessed based on equalization of values of property, any properties of that value in the city.
Are we assessing them at the same amount as everything else that we've been assessing for these?
And Barry might be able to answer that better. When you do a tax assessment on new construction or any sale, you can't do a spot assessment. So if someone were to list their property today and sell it, it's going to sell for a higher value than the current tax assessment, because the last time the city did a tax assessment was several years ago, and values have gone up. So when you put a new property on the market, you look at the value of that property compared to other properties in town that have the same sale value, and the assessments equal what those other properties' assessments are.
Well, we've been doing the assessments at 140, correct?
Well, we haven't
That's
done-
what the ones are at California Avenue on around
Right,
Peterson,
on
140.
Peterson Way, they were assessed in the low 140s for
Okay,
similar
and
houses.
so 140 and the 2%, what are they paying on taxes? What would they be paying on taxes for the first year?
So,
I would say about 7,000.
On the 140? Where's the
So the
assessment,
tw-
where's the
the
abatement?
20% on the first year would be 1,400,
Right.
2,800, 3,600, until it gets up to the 7,000.
$1,400. $1,400. Thank you.
Councilman Correa?
Yeah, Madam President, if I may, can you just give us an overall idea, before we get into the numbers, the ones that do nonsense and everything else and back and forth about the finances? Can you just give us an overall of what is it, how many units? Get us
Yes.
excited about it.
I will. So just as a real reflection, back in June, City Council approved a memorandum of understanding with the developer. This is for the site right across from the rec center,
Right.
Brighton Avenue, Wellington Avenue. So they look to do 40 townhomes, 3-bedroom townhomes. I do have, if you want to see, illustrated picture of gonna have garages, with these houses. That's a site that's been undeveloped, I mean, since the 80s.
Right.
So, you know, this is the kind of product, it's a market rate home ownership, that they're trying to do here, market rate housing for the city of Pleasantville.
How many units are there?
40.
Or it's not.
And what's before us today for the redevelopment plan is that's the first reading of the ordinance, so that the zoning can match that. From this today, if city council approves the first reading of the ordinance, it will go to the planning board for a planning board review and recommendation. Then it has to come back to the city council for the second reading. And then after that, there will be a developer's agreement that will come back to city council with any of the business terms that might be, which is, you know, the councilwoman brought up about the 5-year tax abatement. The developer owns the property, has owned the property for years.
Would you like to hear from Mr. Tweedle?
Yeah, why not? I mean, yes, Mr. Tweeter and the developer are here, why not? Let's hear from them.
Hey, wait, on guard. I thought the plan was just to talk about the plan tonight, not the abatement. That's later on. Excuse me.
Excuse me, I feel it's very important to talk about money and abatements while the public is here, because they should be brought in on all of this. I mean, like, they're the ones that are going to be making up the difference in the abatement for 5 years with their taxes. So I think it's very important that the public is well aware of what we're doing today and not a year from now when they come before us.
I've never did from transparency. And it's just, this was supposed to be just for the plan.
I know it's supposed to.
So, I mean, that's going to be discussed, so that's going to be open. Excuse me. Will Burrow, that's Will Burrow, excuse me, Winston Scratchy. Will was born and raised in Pleasantville, lived on Decatur Avenue. And he's very committed to Pleasantville. He built the Fox Run and the landings. And when he first started this project, now he started, just mentioned it to the mayor, business administrator. He mentioned about community benefits where he would, you know, pay the parking lot. And this is the kind of things that he wanted to do, is to, you know, he's very committed to Pleasantville. He wants to do a lot for Pleasantville. And also, thank you. And also, he currently has been looking for other properties in Pleasantville so we can do things in Pleasantville. And that's why, you know, I brought him here tonight so he can, you know, be visible and you can ask him any questions you want to ask him.
Mr. Tweedle, can you talk a little bit about the project?
Well, Rick, Rick is here. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, no, okay.
No, not yet. And like I said, after this reading, it goes to the planning board if it's approved from here. But,
Okay.
that's, you know, well, you know what the planning board does and everything. But I just came in and I'd like to introduce him and let you guys know a little bit about him.
Okay.
But all this is going to come out. There's a process that's going to come back. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions, council? Nothing further, Madam Clerk.
Resolution 132, reject all bids for the various parks improvements of Lee's Avenue, Max Manning, and Crescent Avenue project.
Barry, can you come up and give us an explanation on this, please?
It's 6:45 p.m.
The resolution is to reject the bids that we accepted, I think, the end of July. We had, second time we bid them. Both times, for the engineering and review it, we're like 30% above the estimate, his estimate, and what funds are available. So we're looking to reject it with the anticipation that we can probably, we will start negotiating with the contractor to get a better number, hopefully. And there's a lot of things that were going on down with the parks. We're looking at pickleball courts, basketball courts, soccer fields, and all three of those areas. And most of the money, in fact, all the money is being part of a grant from the Van County Improvement Authority. But again, 30, we're 30% above the funding and also the estimate from the engineer. So that's why we're asking to reject it for the second time.
Barry, how long do you think that this process will take?
I wouldn't think probably less than a month.
Less than a month?
I think so once we reject it, and we'll start negotiating with the contractor as soon as possible. If they're willing to negotiate.
If they're willing.
If they're willing. I mean, that's all depending on whether they're ready to talk about numbers. We may have to scale back a little bit in order to be within the boundaries of what we have to do, but that'll be determined once we start talking to these guys.
But Barry, that's a month after we identify who's going to do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we already have the two contractors. We may reach out to additional contractors, but we have two people that have time to bid on it. We don't know if our engineer can reach out to other contractors and maybe bring somebody else in. Because sometimes people don't like to bid on numbers, especially with the ACIA, there's a lot more requirements that they have to do the bidding in order to get the money. So we'll discuss all that with the engineer and contractors and ACIA to see what we can do about expediting the process.
Okay.
How far are we on the difference of
$130,000.
$30,000?
$130,000.
Oh, $130,000. Thank you, Mr.
Any other questions, council? Seeing none. Thanks, Barry.
Resolution 133, granting approval of the Mexican Independence Day Festival on September 14th at the Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
Any questions, council? Seeing none.
Resolution 134, granting approval of a community yard sale in the city on September the 7th at Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
Any questions, council? Seeing none.
Yes, I do. Is there a fee for this, for the vendors?
No, it's $5 for your permit.
$5 per permit going to the clerk, right? They go to.
Yeah, it wouldn't go to me because I don't work.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that the only fee there is the $5.
Yes.
Because I thought there was gonna be something to recreation center. Is this what's replacing that?
No,
Okay.
that's a different event.
Oh, okay.
Resolution 135, accepting the resignation of the business administrator Linda Payton.
Any questions, council? Seeing none.
Next is review of the bills.
Mayor?
Hello again. We're talking about the bills that were paid at the last council meeting. This council meeting, you'll see at the top of the page, ACM Jeff, this was the third quarter of property liability and workers' compensation insurance that had to be paid by the 15th of August. And really it's $495, there's $90,000, 2 lines down as far as from the sewer fund, the $405 comes out of the current fund based on the announcements that we do based on employees and coverage and whatnot. And then you'll see down the bottom, we've got two small things, $7,000 and $19,000 paid for Green Acres debt service, and then the $522,996 for payroll for last pay period.
Question, Barry. It says $45 to Flowers Bargainer. What was that for?
$45 for Gainer, that was like, what we pay flowers for?
Not by gain of May.
I'll have to look at it, because I think there was a,
Okay, thank you.
Now we're looking at bills to be paid. Again, the type is very small, but for next council meeting, I've already been guaranteed that the font will be larger, back to normal processing. Yeah, that will start buying people little cheaters that because I haven't even took. If you look down near the bottom of page 1, the ACUA trash collection fee for the month, of 144. If we jump over to page 2, halfway down the middle, Command Co. That was another draw on the Bayview Avenue Unity Park for work that was done probably 6 or 8 weeks ago. This is the draw number 8. If you're down there, Duran Engineering, we asked them to draw up specification for replacing the roof at the rec center. This is a partial payment.
MBA, if I may. Let's go back to the Joker's Field. Is that the park?
Okay.
Right? That means that we're back on track and trying to
They-
get it done?
Based on what our engineers had said and what they have said, that they had to order some material, because what had happened was that they had to do test pilings, and they're waiting for a report from the test pilings. Down at the very end where we will have the stage, and once they get the report, which I believe they have, material will be ordered for the stage, and they'll start doing it up. They expect probably next, I believe they said maybe November, things will be done
Last
with the grand opening.
time we talked about it, though.
And
I know,
If I may interrupt, Madam BA and Madam President, the last time we talked about this project, we talked about October
Sorry.
deadline, and also it looked like a site that
yes.
it was an abandoned site, okay? So please, if you can both look into it and let's make it look like we're doing something over there.
And I believe, Mr. Ludi talked to the contractor, correct?
Yeah, I talked to the contractor. I know our guy cleaned the outside of the fence.
Yes.
I haven't been down there lately to see if they've done the inside of the fence yet.
No.
No.
They've done-
No.
Now,
Well, we're
that's
getting-
where I do my walk, and
This-
it looks like an abandoned site.
The $73,000 check will be held until they do something.
$75,000.
Yeah, and it looks really bad.
Oh, and I told them, it's all, that place was abandoned.
Yes.
It does.
So November it is,
That's,
hopefully hold you to
we'll
it.
say, with probably not grand opening until spring.
All right.
Again,
Pardon?
no, I said again, but,
Okay. To go over to page 3, a couple down the bottom, boardwalk construction for $111,000. That's for partial payment for the roof that's been done over at the annex and at the firehouse they're still working on. They will start the police station September 9th because they're having a hard time getting the guy who does the environmental and asbestos testing out before that point. They're very, according to my engineer, I talked to them Wednesday. At that time, they didn't even have a schedule for them. As of today, they had a schedule for the inspector for asbestos, and they're looking for September 9th to start, and it'll probably be 3 weeks when that'll be done. After that. And then we had the boardwalk, Pleasantville Board of Education for their monthly payment for taxes. 2 below that, as you know, Friday we have another fireworks display down the marina, and that's payment for that. Other than that, that's everything we have is really just our normal operating bills and things we need to run the city. Any questions?
Barry, I want to know when, Kirk Highland, boat slip refund, why was that a refund?
Oh, Mr. Highland never got to put his boat in, and we had a death in the family, so he paid ahead of time, but never utilized it. And he's a repetitive, repeated customer for the past 6 years.
Okay, he had called me early on, he was really excited about it.
Yeah, but he never got to put his boat in. He made payment back in March, but never put his boat in, and then his wife got sick and she passed away.
Okay, thank you.
And my understanding was that he was a long time.
Yeah, he's been with
He's run it
us,
for
yeah.
many, many years.
Council, any questions? All right, thank you.
We're going to 666 tonight.
Not on me.
Did I mention that going back to the finance committee with 666? It was not on there.
Yes. Barry? Councilman Oglesby is asking if it can, 6666 come back to, committee.
Sure.
Yeah, I requested that a few months ago, but it hasn't happened, but I do believe now, we definitely need to send that back to the finance committee over that issue.
We have a meeting coming up, so you can add it
We
to
will do
the
that.
agenda.
My understanding wasn't, I wasn't involved, in the interpretation of a couple of attorneys that were required to pay that. What did we are, I mean, that was our attorney we had at the time. and-
Barry, we can discuss that. in
That's
the
a finance.
finance.
Yeah, I finance, we go back.
Okay, we'll go back.
Yeah, please, then explain
You
that.
had that, Madam DA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted that addressed, but I received a phone call.
settled a date for the finance committee, correct?
I believe we did. I'll double check tomorrow with Karen.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that.
Thank you.
Mayor, you have something?
No, I just wanted to let everyone know that work on Park Avenue has resumed, and the issue's been solved and work is resumed. I got a couple calls, of people, residents happy that that's, going on.
For those who don't know or haven't heard, but, our previous business administrator, Linda Payton has resigned.
I'm taking care of that.
Yeah, but I want to welcome Kenya.
Okay.
Well, retired. And I want to welcome Ms. Kenya Nunez, who is our acting business administrator. When you see Kenya, just say hello and welcome Kenya, really back to Pleasantville.
Yeah, thank you.
So welcome, Ms. Nunez.
Thank you.
Officially. Welcome.
And you have something, Mayor? You want to do it now?
No, doing the appropriate time.
Just the appropriate time?
Accommodations in the property.
Not now?
Well, I mean, I can, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
That's what we usually
Yeah,
do.
can you do it now?
This is about the agenda items, right? For everyone.
Is the person here or no?
No.
Okay. And what's next?
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
Barry, the question I have is for the fire department for the air conditioning. I know you're retiring. But I was advised in September that second air conditioning unit, so I know before you leave, I like to have something on that air conditioning.
Actually, I think we talked about maybe October, November.
October, November?
Yeah, because,
Okay.
and we'll explain that in the finance committee why.
And that would be for the second air conditioning. The first one's already taken care of.
We expect to be taken care of by October, November. I'm sorry, yeah, sometime, by the end of October, beginning of November, but we should be taken care of.
I was talking about the fire department.
And fire department.
Yeah, the air conditioning down in the basement, correct?
Yeah, I believe we have one. I don't know if it's upstairs or downstairs.
Actually, there are 3 air conditioning units, 2 are already operating, the 3rd is the basement.
So we have one that we need. And that,
We need 1, 2 are working.
thank you, sir.
May I have a motion to close work session?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good evening, everyone. This is the City of Pleasantville City Council meeting. Today is August the 19th, 2024, and the time is 6:30 p.m. I'm sorry, 6:54. This meeting has been duly advertised in the city newspaper in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act, otherwise known as the Sunshine Law. Please stand for invocation and the flag salute. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, but we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The Lord, forever. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Davenport, Fablelaro,
Here.
Pomona,
Present.
Korea,
Present.
Barclay,
Present.
Oglesby, Thomas,
Present.
6 of the 10.
May I have a motion to dispense reading of the previous minutes?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, commendation, proclamation, presentation.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. As Council President said, we have a new business administrator. Now, she was introduced to everyone at the last council meeting, but she's officially here now. And our, okay. And our business administrator, Linda Payton, has retired. And we have an accommodation for her. She won't be here tonight, but I'll still read it. Reads as follows: City of Pleasantville, Office of the Mayor, Certificate of Commendation. Whereas Linda D. Payton, excuse me, began her professional career with humble beginnings in the City of Pleasantville in September of 1999 as the accounting clerk for the Finance and UEZ departments in the year of April 2000. Linda Payton was personally requested by the late former Mayor Ralph Peterson to be his aide. She served as mayor's aide until her next job promotion as deputy municipal clerk in 2003. Upon entering May 2005, Linda Payton advanced to personnel officer and NPP coordinator. In her role as a personnel officer, Linda Payton assisted with the implementation of establishing the Human Resources Department for the City of Pleasantville when the city became a civil service municipality. Toward the later years of Linda Payton's career, she continued to elevate to the following positions of Personnel Director in January 2009, Acting City Administrator in April 2011 under Mayor Jesse Tweedle, and City Administrator in August 2011, where she served in the office for 13 years and is noted to be the longest sitting business administrator for the City of Pleasantville. Whereas Linda Payton served on several city committees throughout her tenure, such as Municipal Alliance Coordinator, PEPP, PEP Committee, which is Pleasantville Envisions Pride and Prosperity, as the president, Ralph Peterson Scholarship Foundation as president, Bayview Summer Series Planning Committee, and the Multicultural Fest Planning Committee. In addition, Linda Payton was the representative for the City of Pleasantville as a board member of the John Brooks Recovery Center and AtlantiCare. And whereas Linda Payton was an advocate of education and skill development, she possessed a myriad of state certifications and study courses. Linda Payton received numerous local and statewide recognitions, acknowledgments, and honors throughout her career. And now, therefore, I, Judy M. Ward, Mayor in the City of Pleasantville, New Jersey, on behalf of the city, City Council, this administration, and citizens of Pleasantville, do commend City Administrator Linda Payton for 25 years of service and pray for a healthy and rewarding retirement. And witness whereof I have set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Pleasantville to be affixed this 19th day of August in the year of our Lord, 2024. Signed, Judy M. Mayor. God bless you. Anybody want to say anything? Thank you.
Anyone would like to sign this public hearing? Public portion?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to start out by trying to say something positive. As I go around town, I'm seeing a lot of streets being paved. One of the main criticisms I've heard over the years is our streets need to be paved. Little by little, as I go around, this street's getting paved, this section's getting paved. I would just like to acknowledge that, and I say it looks good that a lot of work is getting done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's the other side. You know it's coming. Very good. As a citizen of Pleasantville, as you know, I'm also the president of Pleasantville Concerned Citizens. We have a monthly meeting and we decide issues that need to come to the fore. And here I am to present those issues as well as our other members. The issue that I'm here tonight to present is a need for a manpower study for our police and fire to be actually heard by the public. As I understand it, there are two studies in the air with regards to this matter. One done by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs and another one conducted by Stockton University. My understanding is that the Stockton study has been completed and the DCA study has yet to be approved to be conducted, if my understanding is correct. I'm here to stand that I think that the public deserves to know where we stand. Because this is a city. A city runs like a business to some degree. You know, I worked in a casino 11 years. They decided we need to cut one less in my department. 11 years I was gone. It's just the way it works. You know, and I think the city needs to run the same way if that is justifiable. Everyone, I love having every single employee of our city employed and working as possible. But when it comes to needs assessments need to be considered and respected and delivered to the public for their hearing. And I'm asking, will you provide those things to the public? Madam President, because I'm supposed to address you with everything. And please share this question with your colleagues.
Good question. I think before the study is presented to you all, the community, it needs to be presented to us as a council. We did get a copy of it, but we haven't had any discussion on it. So we will let you know, maybe with the new BA sitting here, that we could call for maybe a special meeting to discuss the.
Could you perhaps give us a time frame? I mean, you talk about just having a meeting.
In the next 2 months.
2 months?
I mean.
Well, that's what you're saying. At least you're giving me an answer. All right, I'll leave it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Oglesby,
Yes.
is there anything you would like to share with regards to this matter?
As far as the two surveys go, with the Public Safety Committee, we have reviewed it. Oh, that's not, okay, I'm sorry. One of our members is not here this evening. We reviewed one. We don't know the aspect of the other one with the DCA. I don't personally know if that has been done or how is it being done. I know we brought it up to the Public Safety Committee. We asked for it, and this has been going on since April. And here we are in August. Now, I do know we had an agreement with the administration that before we moved on anything in the police department, and the city solicitor could vouch for this, that we made an agreement that we were going to do the DCA, then the mayor came and she wanted to do Stockton. So we said, okay, we had a meeting, a special meeting with the solicitor, and we agreed that, and I compromised and said, well, we'll have the Stockton survey and we'll have the DCA by the state. And once that was done, we would take action. That the whole council will be advised what both studies is, and then action will be taken by them. I have not received the DCA study. I don't even know if that's going on right now. So as far as the Public Safety Committee is, we are not moving until our agreement has been met. So that was the agreement that the Public Safety Committee made. We do have the Stockton, if the president wants to release that or do whatever, fine. But, you know, I'm going to stick by what we agreed upon and what we set up, and that was done in May. We met with them, this all started since April, and here we are in August. So if we don't have that done, I don't know what to say.
Madam President,
Yes.
and with all due respect, no, Stockton was done prior to anyone ordering any study. Stockton was done a while ago, and then DCA came into play. So now, everyone, for the Department of Community Affairs, That's the one that supposedly we're waiting for. In the meantime, there are promotions that we're waiting for that's going to expire on the civil service list. And that's why I was encouraging the promotions. Because we have 3 people that are working in that capacity of the jobs. They passed, they're passed the test through attrition. That's how we're promoting and laying off or whatever. And that's what we're waiting for right now.
So you're saying, excuse me.
Go ahead.
So you're saying the DCA study has been initiated?
No, we have not received that one back yet. The Stockton was back a while ago.
So it's been conducted, the DCA study? You said it's not been received back? I'm
Excuse me,
confused.
what do you
The
What do you think, Chief?
The DCA was approved by the mayor in the middle of July. As of that time, we had 45 days to collect the data that DCA is asking for.
So that's in the process?
Yes, so I contacted Rick Abella from the DCA last week. As of Wednesday, possibly Thursday, we should have all the data that's needed, and then it's going to be approximately 3 to 4 months. So sometime probably in the new year, you'll be able to hear something.
Thank you,
Oh, thank you.
Captain Chief.
And also, that is only for the police department. So if we're doing studies for both, we're waiting on the fire department as well. But promotions were just done a couple weeks ago to backfill those promotions that people retired from.
Good, thank you. And this is being conducted for police and fire, correct? Because I feel, both of them giving the same impact. on
Wait, we all over the place.
No, just
I mean,
make sure
people speaking out of term and everything like that. But, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry, your 3 minutes is
Yeah,
up,
but
and we'll just answer the, the
Thank you.
questions. I guess when we have our special meeting or the other meeting, well, the special meeting, then we can discuss this as well.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even know that was,
Neither did I, but,
I didn't even know we was moved that far.
yes, go ahead.
With all of these studies, right here on this planning and development, we have about 400 new units coming into the city of Pleasantville. That's 400 units, that's not 400 heads. We can times that by 2, most likely. That's 800 more people. I hope that has been taken into consideration in these studies, the DCA and the Stockton one, because we're putting in about 800 more people in the city. So I just want to make sure that that's part of the study and that's in there, because it's 400 units coming on board.
Well, with that being said, Joanne, you brought that up in committee, and there was a discussion between fire and police that they said that they didn't need any more manpower, and you remember that.
I wasn't even on, I'm not on a committee that
No,
deals with
it was
police and
a
fire.
special meeting that we had last year about one of those projects on there, and they were.
One, this is there's 400 new units coming on
Well,
board.
I'm just saying.
I'm not,
we-
I don't want to, I'm just saying, I hope those are included in the study.
I understand
So
what
we
you're
don't,
saying.
sell ourselves
But
short.
just remember that we have it in writing as well.
Madam
And I'll
President,
get- Excuse me,
do it.
and I'll just get that to
in
you,
our committee
okay?
meeting.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mayor?
I said, let's just discuss it in committee meeting.
Yeah, you brought it up, but okay. Ms.
Well,
Brown?
not to that extent.
I don't have that. Yeah.
I just wanted to know about the rent control committee, what's going on with that?
Rent control committee, you want to let her know what the situation is?
We sent back some revisions to the landlords, and we're waiting to hear back from the landlords. And then it'll go back out to the committee for final approval.
I'm not understanding, could you explain to me why, what you do with rent control has anything to do with the landlords? Like, what is their interest?
We were just triggering some legal language. The attorneys were actually talking back and forth, so we had a meeting to
discuss it with the committee that was handling it, and so there were some recommendations that we were going to make. So we sent it back for review, and I'm waiting to hear back from the attorney. That's all.
Okay, so in other words, you're saying there was some discrepancy in what y'all agreed upon?
It was just the language, yes, yeah, the legalese, so to speak, yes.
And may I add to, there's a committee meeting on Thursday to discuss rent control as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll have something done soon.
Absolutely,
Yes,
yes, absolutely.
Been a long time.
Madam President, if I may, that being said, would you mind just sending as an FYI to other members?
I sent it to him.
No, I don't have the, you sent it?
I'll
Well,
resend
I've been
it.
out for 10 days, so I'm
Yeah, I'll
trying to check my
resend
emails,
it,
but
yeah.
I'd like to see the,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Been waiting for quite some time to get an understanding and get something definite. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I would think that the second reading should either be at the next meeting or the second meeting,
Okay. Okay. All right.
at the latest.
All right. Thank you. Another thing is September is a few days away, and we're talking about manpower on the police department. Our children need protection. Okay, they need protection on Leeds, Woodland, Broad Street, Washington Avenue, and the high school, middle school campus. Is there anything being done to make sure we have the manpower to facilitate those areas, because traffic is heavy. Traffic is heavy, and it's dangerous out there. We kind of held up our end, but we, especially with Leeds Avenue,
I'm sorry, who's we?
the Board of Education,
Okay.
Principal Board of Education. Okay, we had curbsides painted. We did that. We did that. Okay, the city did not. Okay, we changed the traffic route in front of Leeds Avenue. In the very beginning, it was fine. It was smooth. We had police officers out there. We had administrators out there. Right. Then after the second and maybe third week, nothing. And the traffic picked back up. Security is directing traffic, which is not our responsibility. All right, we need another crossing guard out there. All right, our parents are not respecting our children. And it seems like the only thing that will alleviate this situation is police presence. We need you guys out there. Someone, and I've said it before, to God be the glory, nothing's happened, right? Somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt, whether it be staff, parents, or children, God forbid. So please, if we can make the accommodations to have police presence out there, all right, we greatly appreciate it. You know, we're not a big school district. And I know we may or may not have enough numbers, okay, but we need you guys out there. Thank you.
Mr. Carrington,
Yes, ma'am.
we did have a public safety meeting with the school district, so maybe you need to be there at our next meeting, because we do have to schedule a follow-up, so maybe you need to be there at that meeting.
Okay, all right. Is there a scheduled time?
No, we don't have that yet.
Okay, all right. Somebody gonna let me know?
Yes, for sure.
Thank you very much. All right.
Madam President, I just want to ask you one question. What you're saying is, what your question is, you want a police personnel, and you named all our schools. When our schools open, you want to have police officers there? Is that?
Absolutely. And hopefully during the whole school year. You know, I mean, it's dangerous out there. It is dangerous. Case in point, the loop in front of Leeds Avenue, these parents are coming in hot. And what I mean by hot, when they make that left-hand turn, right, they're almost at 10 miles an hour. That's dangerous, right? And when the kids are coming across the street, right, they're not paying attention. We're out there as security, right, directing traffic. That's not our job. That's not our job, because we don't have the credentials to do that. So we need a police presence on Linden Avenue. At times, it's parents are parked 3 lanes.
Both sides. Yeah, we understand.
Okay, and on Leeds Avenue, and in that area directly in front of the school, right? They're doing whatever it is they want to do. And they do it because there's no police presence.
I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Bettis.
Good evening, members of council, mayor.
Good evening.
I would concur with Mr. Carrington's concern about the safety there. Of course, this year was unusual, but on the primary election day, and Madam President, you were there, it was a mess. And I had to snatch a kid almost out of the driveway to keep from getting hit by a car. So there is a serious situation there at Leeds Avenue. And I did make a private suggestion to the official in charge of determining where elections are held about moving the primary election away from Leeds Avenue School to another facility nearby that might be fit the qualifications. Madam Clerk. So I did make a private suggestion on that for safety reasons, so I concur with that. I do have a concern. As we all know, Pleasantville is probably one of the most built-out communities in the county compared to the other shore communities. We don't have a lot of land to develop, and to develop them in the most economic way so that the residential taxpayer can get some relief by developing commercial other than dollar stores. So with regard to ordinance 10, usually, I don't know if there's a rationale or a cause or purpose for abatement. I have been out of the game for about 21 years, so usually somebody has a reason for abatements. And my question is, in concern expressed by Ms. Famularo, is can we get a financial analysis or projection if the abatement is approved, what would be the difference in tax revenues coming to the city if it was not approved? I'm not saying I'm against the project, I don't know that much about it, but I do think that the question that is raised is really relevant in terms of, and also it's on New Road, which I would suspect that it's going to have to require state approval too, right, the project? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, I have state approval, but I do have a concern about us continuing, and I said this 30 years ago, giving up ratables for either nonprofit abatements or churches. Now, I am not a religious libertine. However, we got more churches in Pleasantville per capita than any other town in the county. So I have a concern about us allowing development to occur when it's going to be on the backs of the taxpayers to compensate the lost money. Thank you.
Excuse me, Ms. Thomas, that is arrival and dismissal.
Yes.
Okay.
Madam President, if I may, that's been ongoing. We hear the same thing about Leeds Avenue. Have you ever considered towing up the streets on the arrivals? And because it's been an ongoing problem, but
That's the school district.
it's a school district. But anyway, bring it back to committee to say the community. And we gotta find a solution to it. It keeps coming back here.
So noted. May I have a motion to close public portion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Madam Clerk?
Okay, first is ordinance number 9, amending chapters 84, alcoholic beverages, and chapter 300, land management of the city code to regulate liquor stores and related sales of alcoholic beverages within the city.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance approved to move the second reading scheduled for September the 4th. Ordinance number 10, first reading, adopting the redevelopment plan for the properties identified as Block 382, Lots 1 and 14 on the official tax map of the city of Pleasantville pursuant to the Land Redevelopment and Housing Law and JSA 40A:12-1.
May I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
May I have a second? Second by Mr. Creed. Come on. Roll call, please.
Familar,
No.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Ordinance approved and passed for second reading, scheduled for September the 4th. Resolution 132, reject all bids for the various park improvements on Lees Avenue, Max Manning, and Crescent Avenue project.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Mr. Carmona, second.
So noted.
Roll call.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 133, granting approval of a Mexican Independence Day Festival on September the 14th at the Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Camona. Roll call, please.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 134, granting approval of a community yard sale in the city on September the 7th at Tilton Avenue Ballpark.
May I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
May I have a second? Second by Mr. Barclay. Roll call.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Resolution 135, accepting the resignation of Business Administrator Linda Payton.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
May I have a second? Roll call, please.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Resolution approved. Need approval for the bill list.
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Familar,
Yes.
Camona,
Yes.
Korea,
Yes.
Barclay,
Yes.
Oglesby,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Motion approved. Next is comment from Mayor and City Council.
Mayor?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I'd like to remind everyone that the Hispanic Festival is going to be, the Puerto Rican Festival is going to be Saturday at Langston Park on the 17th at 12 o'clock if everyone would come out. And also, I was just at the African American Chamber of Commerce, the Tri-State, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey, just had their black mayors convening in Philadelphia this past week. And I went there, and it was different mayors from across the country. Really, really good information, networking. And there's a lot of things that that they discussed there that sometimes we reject here. And part of it is about the pilots and abatements. Because even though it may not sound good, and even though it may not be what you really want for your community, sometimes that's what you need to draw in businesses and redevelopment, just to be able to get something started. Because we do need ratables here.
We do.
Everyone have a good evening.
Anything from council?
Nothing at this
I have something to say, and I'm not singling out any one person. But we've had quite a few retirements in the past year or 2 years. And we've had retirements of people that have been paid a lot of money through the taxpayers. And what really and truly bothers me, and I like all these people, I have nothing, they don't even come, they don't have to thank us. They don't have to thank the city council or the mayor. But my God, the taxpayers are the ones that go out to work every day to pay their property taxes, to pay these people, and these people don't even come back and thank you, the taxpayer. And that is really bothersome to me. Because it's like we don't even exist, that they kind of like don't care about us. They got what they wanted and they left. And that is very, very troubling to me. And I don't like it, to be honest with you. I like the people, I don't like how this was done. And I'll say it, and you know, there were many people on that list that I have, that I got along with, that I respected. This, I don't go.
Anyone else? No? Next we have executive session. We're going to go into executive session, so if everyone can step out, we shouldn't be long, less than a half an hour. You don't have to give us a synopsis or anything.
No.
So what we got? That's it. Council, anything?
No.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
May I have a second? All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.